The Maruti Suzuki Jimny is finally here, and as far as I am concerned, this is the hottest product of 2023. It also has nostalgic value for me because the original MG 410 Gypsy was my father's first car, which unapologetically I bullied him into buying. So it has a lot of nostalgia, and I'm actually really excited to see it. It's a small little car, but in the 5-door version, petrol only, you get manual options, you get automatic transmission, you get 4-wheel drive. How's it to drive? How's the space? How's the utility? What does it look like? We're going to tell you all that and more about the Jimny today. If you're a fan of the original Gypsy, you will clearly see that the Jimny is an evolution in design. Okay, very different, but it carries over very familiar cues such as the round headlights, that grille, that slab-sided doors, and I think Maruti's done a great job with the design. It's just under 4 meters long, but they've integrated it very well. The proportions are fantastic. It only rides on 15-inch wheels. Yes, I'm sure the aftermarket industry is going to go crazy over the Jimny. You're going to get better wheels, you're going to get bigger tires, body kits. I've seen international versions where they make the Jimny look like the G-Wagon, and I think it looks absolutely stunning. I love the red color. You get a contrast black roof. You also get a standard full red car. Really wild green is also a really nice color. Like the older Gypsy, the spare wheel is mounted onto the tailgate. Overall, I think design-wise, they've carried over a lot of cues inside and out of the Gypsy. It has that identity, and I think they've done a really good job. But one thing though, a lot of people ask you whether it looks as big as the Thar. No, it doesn't. Yes, they're the same length, but it's smaller, it's less in width. So yes, it has a very diminutive presence, but it does look really cool. I think it looks very utility-like, which is basically form follows function. So I think it looks absolutely fantastic. But let's get inside the car. A lot of people have asked whether we can sit 4 adults inside the Jimny. Well, let's find out. And also an important thing, because it's going to be a lifestyle vehicle, is there enough boot space? We'll see. Now, like I said, on the outside, the Jimny has touches of the Gypsy, the same styling. It's a similar story inside the car too. I love the round dials. They remind me of my father's car. You even get these fake Allen key style bolts. You get this rubber surround, which is very similar to what used to be there in the original Gypsy, and it's a touch of nostalgia. You get modern equipment, you get climate control, you of course have the 4-wheel drive controls, big touch screen. It also has wireless CarPlay and Android Auto. You get a similar steering that you'll see in many Swifts, and a bunch of other functions that are there, including 6 airbags. Overall design in the interior though remains utilitarian. I think the plastic quality could have been better, but I think the bigger issue is that the storage space inside the car is very limited. In fact, you don't even have enough space in the door pads to hold a water bottle. So that's something that's a bit of a problematic thing. You don't get a center console, so you also don't have that armrest here where you can store things. So that is something of concern for me. As far as space is concerned, if you're 6 feet or above, I think headroom will be an issue. Any shorter than that, and I think you will be fine with the headroom. The front seats are fine. 2 adults can sit comfortably. What is it like to sit in the rear seat? Well, let's find out and also have a look at how the boot is. The rear seat of the Jimny is a bit of a hit and a miss. It's easier to get into, say, in the rear seat of the Jimny than the Thar, but the seat is a bit of a compromise. Again, if you're above 6 feet, you'll have an issue with headroom. The seat squab is rather short, so there's not much under thigh support. So I think longer journeys for rear passengers might be a bit of a problem, but for short journeys it's absolutely fine. You can fit in 4 adults, and as you can see, it's got a very usable boot. So if you're 4 adults going on a weekend trip, I think there'll be enough space for you to store your bags. But most importantly, what I've heard is people are a bit wary of whether the 1.5 litre naturally aspirated petrol engine in the Jimny is powerful enough. Is it capable enough on road and off road? Well, let's drive it and find out. Now that we've seen the design of the Jimny, the space, the practicality, comes the most important part, which is the driving. The Jimny is based on a ladder frame chassis. It's got four-wheel drive hardware. It's got 210 mm of ground clearance. And one of the questions that I see mostly on social media is the Jimny underpowered? It's powered by a 1.5 litre naturally aspirated petrol engine, which has 103 bhp, 130 odd 38, 39 Nm torque, which seems a bit weak on paper. But how is it in the real world? Well, I have to say, it's not underpowered. That's one statement. The other, would I like more power? Yes, another 25, 30 bhp would be great. It would make the Jimny a rather quick car. As of now, it's got decent power. If you're pushing it a bit, it'll attain 3-digit speeds with ease, but it does feel like it could use a little more power to make it faster. But no, it's not underpowered, it's not slow, and it's quite comfortable to drive. We've only driven the manual version today due to a paucity of time, and the 5-speed gearbox shifts quite well. I think the shifts are a little sticky, but that might be because it's a brand new car. The steering is linear, but the most important aspect of the Jimny is how well it does on and off the road. On the road, it simply, rides. And that's the biggest thing for me, because ladder frame cars generally tend to have bouncy ride, but the Jimny is absolutely brilliant. In fact, if you didn't know, if you didn't see outside, you could be driving a Brezza or a Swift. It's that light. It's so nice. And one of the key points about the Jimny's dynamics is the fact that at 1200 kilos, it's a light vehicle for the fact that it has a ladder frame, it has four-wheel drive hardware, it has 6 airbags. So at 1200 kilos, that gives it a lot of advantage. As any good engineer will tell you, the lesser the mass, the easier things get for them to manage. And that's the key reason why I simply love driving the Jimny. Is it perfect? No. Would I like more power? Yes. Would I like slightly better plastics? Yes. If I bought one, would I give it bigger tires? Yes. But still, it's such a delightful little package because it's honest, it's simple, it does exactly what you want it to do. And we took it off-roading. Again, the lack of mass helps here again. You can literally take it anywhere with the four-wheel drive hardware. It was simply brilliant to manage. And I think that's one of the key factors, that how well it's been engineered by the Maruti Suzuki engineers. Now the last question, of course, is how much is it going to cost? Let me put it to you this way. If they can get it, let's say 13 lakh ex showroom for the top model, or there and thereabouts, I think it's going to be a cracking little package. Yes, okay, the rear seat could be better, but overall, whether you want to drive it in city, whether you want to take it off-road, whether you want to take it long distance, I believe the Jimny offers a stunning package. I absolutely love it. And at the price of 13, I think 13-ish would be a very good deal. And let me tell you, even if they price it at 14, 15, I expect to see very long waiting lists for the Jimny. In fact, in and around Dehradun where we are driving, I had at least 5 people come up to me and ask me about the car because they wanted to buy one. So if you're interested in buying it, be quick with your bookings, because this is going to be a very in-demand car and totally deserving so.